Hey, all you sinners and saints, it's TJ here, the MotorSage. I remember when I was a child, my mother would say, hey, the weather's out there, it's too bad, the snow is too deep, you shouldn't be out and all that. We'll send your father. Came out this morning, get the snow off the truck, started it up, warmed it up, got in it, and looked at the dash and seen that I had a low tire pressure warning. I've been having problems with the right rear tire. Every couple months or so, I had to put a little air in it. So I figured that's what the problem is again. And I decided to come down here to the tire service place where I bought the tires and have the tires checked over and see. One of the problems we have with the newer technology, so to speak, is we replaced, for the sake of weight and handling and everything, we replaced the steel wheels that we used to use and put on aluminum wheels for all vehicles, all the way down from small little mini cars all the way up to trucks. And what happens is, over a period of time, they corrode, and they corrode along the bead of the tire. So when you replace tires, as I just did about 3 months ago, if they don't get them sealed just so with the sealer, they tend to leak because they get rough and porous around the rim from corrosion. I think that might be what's happened. I guess it's kind of like the church. We got to really be roughed up, sanded down, and kept clean so that we can do our job. You know, it's the fact that we too often fight with one another over issues that are important, and sometimes we let those fights get in the way of who we are as a church, as a people of God. We, as my mother used to say, we go postal. Now, postal isn't something that a lot of younger people understand what that means. See, I've been told this morning to go postal, go to the post office and get some stamps. But going postal, the way my mother used it, was a different thing. See, that was before the days of the internet, cell phones, and all this other stuff, modern communications. So if you wanted to vent your anger about what the government was doing, you would have to write your congressman or woman, and you would put that letter in the post office to the capital of the state or the capital of the country. And in her day, during the war years, she could write to the governor of Pennsylvania, or she could write to Franklin D. Roosevelt in Washington. She would go postal. I imagine the office of the President of the United States would get a lot of mail during the turbulent years of the war. Well, I went to go postal this morning, and it's not turned out too great because I've got to stop by here and check out these tires, and then I'll stop by the post office, and Mom needs some stamps because she wants to go postal and send some birthday cards out to people, and get well cards to folks who have been sick, and we've got a few people who we're concerned about, and we want to drop them a line. It's a tradition of we old folks. We like to do that to let people know that we're thinking of them. So stay with me here as I continue to go postal. Thanks be to God. You know, just when you think you have everything figured out, somebody walks up and takes the air right out of your tower, so to speak. First, as I said before, I took my truck into the tire shop because the tire monitor here on the dashboard, on that instrument panel, signaled to me that my tire was low. After I got to the shop, I watched them. They surprised me a bit by taking my truck inside. I figured that I needed a little repair to the tire. Been leaking very slowly. It'd take a couple months, but I'd have to put air in it eventually because the tire warning would come on. But within 5 minutes, the truck got backed out of the shop. The manager handed the keys to me. Told me it was okay. He said all the tires were low. Way, way too low. They're about 8 to 10 pounds below specifications. Then he asked me if the truck had been sitting in the snow and the cold. I told him, yeah, it's been hanging around in the snow for about a week, and the last few nights it's been below 0 Fahrenheit. It'd been parked there a few days, and the snow had drifted in around it. Then he said, that'll do it. You see, since it's been below 0, the cold condenses the air in the tire and drops the tire pressure just enough to turn on the warning sensor, which signals to the dash that there's something wrong. He told me that the shop had been getting a lot of low tire pressure warnings in the cold weather. They just add air just above the normal cold setting. Everything checked out okay, and then they reprogrammed the sensors and said to come back if it happens again. And he said that favorite statement, no charge. I like that no charge thing. Makes sense. Weather goes cold, low pressure results. I should have thought of that. Cute little church coming up here on the right. You know that cold, low pressure thing? That's been bothering a lot of friends of mine who are ministers. You see, they're already low on parishioner attendance because of this whole pandemic mess. Now you add some low temperatures to that mix, and what I hear online, they're beginning to panic just a bit. The shortfall in attendance for mainline congregations is a little understandable, however. I think because of the age of their congregations. When I look at the online attendance of my friends' churches on Facebook, they tend to be very sparsely attended unless it's a festival or a special event or there's a church dinner going on. Normally there's a bunch of gray-haired folks like me sitting in the pews on a warm Sunday morning, but cold weather make it less inviting to go out to church. I understand how these pastors don't like my online videos where I do the church services, because video makes it too easy for folks to wrap up in a blanket at home and stay close to the fireplace. If you'd think of all the reasons for older folks not to go, the danger of getting COVID, the cold weather, plus there's no restaurant seating at noon when church is over because the restaurants are closing up because of the COVID, or they have seating restrictions. Can't get into a place. It's no wonder that church attendance is down. But I think as ministers we can't just go postal, as Mom would say. We need to pray. If the Lord is allowing us to be strained like silver or gold, so be it. You know, with all the liberal theology that's been making the church spinning like a top, maybe that's what is happening. And we're just spinning our wheels, and the good Lord is just showing us the way. It's something for us to pray about. We're coming up on the post office here now. Make a little bit of a left turn. And right into the parking lot. Post office is right in the little shopping center here, right on the line of the stores. The strip mall, I guess they call it. Oh, damn. I forgot my mask. They ain't even gonna let me in. Ooh. Barb's gonna be cranked. Well, not much I can do about it now. Might as well head on home. To answer the question on the automobile quiz, the car quizzes we've got here at the beginning, the answer is the 1957 Chevrolet. See, the TurboGlide automatic transmission were first produced in 1957, but those units were quickly discontinued the following year. Those transmissions operated very well. They only had 2 speeds. They were kind of a continuously variable transmission in their gear set. They operated real well, but they were terrible to overhaul. Most mechanics said they were difficult to repair. And it came to the point where they were sending them back to the factory to get fixed, and they were being replaced on all GM cars that used them by they're throwing in the 2 forward speed power glide transmission.